Hello everybody. So here is the introduction. This is Phoenix, because it's going to be a chance for me to rise from the ashes of a life I'm not happy with right now. It's a 6.6 Duramax Allison 1000 trans. Needs new batteries. Won't hold a charge right now. Needs to be washed. It's got a little bit of cosmetic damage in the front. So I'm going to have to either re-secure the bumper, replace the bumper, and then probably a grill and headlights and stuff. But the fenders and hood are in pretty good shape. It's got good tires. It runs and drives. This is the new project. I'm going to turn this into a business and a home. Stay tuned if you want to see. I'll do a tour of the interior after work. Well, unfortunately the intro is going to be at night just because I do not have time after work and stuff and getting ready, getting my kiddo dinner and everything to be able to come out here in the daytime. It gets dark pretty early, but this is her, my 2008 G3500 Paratransit. Unfortunately it's dark in here because it's got dead batteries. I just got a couple from work, but overall it appears to be in pretty good shape. It's got this storage area, which is actually, it seems like a little bit bigger than what the buses get. So that's pretty cool. And it's got this area over the driver's door. So I think I'll build that into a little cabinet and just have that for storage there. I'll be getting rid of this partition. I'll be getting rid of this partition here. And probably the handrail coming up the stairs. I might keep that one up front just for anybody older getting on. I'll be getting rid of this lift. So if anybody knows anybody near Spokane, Washington who wants to buy this if I remove it, or come remove it for free properly, and they can have it for like a veteran or something like that, I'd be perfectly fine with that. But it's obviously got some leaks that I'm going to have to sort out. It's an old fiberglass bus. Looks like it's got an AC unit in the rear, so that's pretty cool. Some nice speakers, so I can do a nice little sound system in this thing at some point. I think what I'm going to do back here is actually cut an access hatch in the bottom there. And then I'll have the bed somewhere forward here. Maybe one along the side here, and another bed along the side here for my son. Have the front area be kitchen and like a bathroom area if we have like a little composting toilet. And then have the rear area back here be storage. But I mean, this is standing all the way in the back. There is a decent amount of space in here for a couple of beds and everything. And then I can use this door to like build a little deck or something to go out there for like barbecuing or outside hanging out with people. Build it to where it folds out and then drops down, and then you can just put chairs on either side. I mean, there's so much potential for this thing. I'm so stoked. Don't mind the exhaust. That's just off for the tow driver. It was hanging a little bit too low, but yeah, so far I don't know really anything about it. I've had it running. It drove onto the trailer. It sounded really good, but it was listed with a bad trans. All the wiring doesn't look too bad. It's kind of nice that it's right here. It'll really help with an electrician, hopefully, being able to remove the stuff I don't need and everything. I still haven't figured out how to open this door with power. When it did have power, I couldn't figure out how, so that's something that I got to do. I just pull the emergency for now. And it opens and closes just fine and then locks. But I mean, otherwise, it's in pretty decent shape. One of the other things I was wondering about is whether or not I should rip up this floor, because it's kind of nice. It's got kind of a softness to it, which might make walking on it really nice, but at the same time it feels kind of squishy underneath, and I'm not sure. I'm thinking with these leaks, there might be a little bit of moisture in here. The one thing I really don't like about these versus the school buses, though, is these giant windows. So these what I'm going to end up doing is probably removing every other one of these screws all the way around, and then taking a piece of sheet metal with like insulation on it and covering all but the top portion of the window. So covering that whole bottom section with insulation and like a piece of sheet metal that makes it all nice and flush inside around the door or around the window frame, and then just have the top portion where we can vent those in the summertime and save on AC and stuff like that if it's not too hot. Or if we have a heater in the wintertime, just to have a little bit of extra ventilation just in case like there's a leak or anything like that. I always like sleeping with a cracked window anyway for moisture. So for right now, I'm thinking that I might actually keep this seat here if I can figure out a way to do the bed without it, or I'll take that seat and switch the bracketing over and see if maybe I can build a bracket for it, because I'm a welder fabricator, and take that bracket and bolt it up over here just so my kiddo has somewhere to ride that's safe with a seatbelt when we're on the road. As of right now, if I were to gut all the seats out of it, he would just have to sit on the floor. That's how it was in my ex's bus, and it was pretty unsafe, so I don't want to do that again. This I might turn into like a window, like a AC, some kind of AC unit, or maybe just a cover over a two-way fan that can blow in or blow air out of the bus or suck air into the bus based on what the ventilation I need. So like if I want to cook with a little camp stove, I can just turn a fan on and ventilate it and cook inside. But yeah, man, this has got a lot of potential. Definitely going to need some insulating. I figure since this is paratransit and not a school bus, it's going to be a lot harder to insulate because it doesn't have like that removable roof skin. I'm standing up straight right now. I'm 6'4", and my head is touching the ceiling. It's not pressed against the ceiling. I'm standing straight back and straight, but it's rubbing the ceiling with my beanie. So I'm wondering if I add a bunch of insulation to the ceiling, it's then going to make it to where I won't have room to stand up straight. However, if I remove this flooring and maybe see, I don't know how thick these tracks are, but I imagine that's how thick the flooring is. That might make up for the difference, but then I lose the insulation on the floor. So I've still got to redo the floor. So yeah, there's a lot of things I got to figure out about this, but it's pretty cool. A lot of possibilities. This thing's got a lot of miles, but the engine purrs like a kitty. Got to figure out if it's got a bad trans, get it rebuilt or get a new one in there. And I've got 2 AGM batteries from work for the deep cycle batteries in the compartment underneath this guy, and then I need one for the engine bay, and there might be an additional battery somewhere. I gotta find it. I'm trying to find some schematics for this thing, but so far not a whole lot. But outside it's got a few cosmetic blemishes. It was wrecked, but I already ordered a grill. I'm going to pick up the grill tomorrow. And then headlights, turn signals, and a bumper. Doesn't look like there's any structural damage. I climbed under there. It looks good. I mean, maybe just a little bit, but it didn't get the radiator or core support or anything like that, so I can make it straight again. That's easy right there. Otherwise, it's pretty dirty. It sat for a long time. It's got some, stuff that needs to be scrubbed off of it. It just really needs to be washed once it's driving. Rear bumper got caught on something at some point. I'll just back that into a pole or something lightly and straighten it out. That light was pushed in. It's missing the grommet. I work at a diesel trailer shop for like semi-trailers, so I already ordered that grommet. I'll be bringing it home tomorrow from work. All the lights work as far as I know. It's got a backup camera already, which is pretty cool. It's missing one marker light, which I can also order that at work and replace that. And then otherwise, I mean, it's just a bunch of little things like, like stuff like this that I can sand and fill. Cracks around the windows and stuff, which is pretty common with fiberglass bodies. But, I mean, otherwise, this thing is definitely a really good starting platform for the less than $2,000 I have into it, technically running and driving right now. So it's going to require a lot of work, and It's going to be a big project, but I think my kiddo and I are going to really enjoy these next couple of years together rolling around this bus. Or